with you, take it with you. So we've spent a ton of time looking at that. And so what I want to do is walk you through a little bit of what we've done with Fennec here. And so this is Android. This is running on my Sprint or HTC, I guess, Evo 4G. So this is a gigahertz phone that's got half a gig of RAM and a 4.3-inch screen. So it's a pretty big phone. And so Fennec, again, is our code name for Firefox. It's what we've been calling it. And so what I want to do is just talk you through it a little bit. So what we've done is we've really tried to give the web page all the screen. So these phones, even ones as big as this one, still aren't that big compared to your desktop screen. Websites are getting bigger, right? Physically, they're taking up more space, more pixels. They want to do bigger and better things. So we've really tried to make sure that we can give the browser all the space possible. So some of the things we've done, for example, is you can just scroll the URL bar off, get it out of the way. Now the whole content is up here. So, some of the other things, we've put some of our controls over here. So you can bookmark pages, you can go back, forward. We've also got our tools button, which I'll talk about here more in a minute. On the other side here, we've got our tabs. So you can have thumbnails of all the pages you're visiting. And so if I want to go to a new page, I can just click the new tab button. What I get here is what we call the awesome screen. So, Firefox, it's got the awesome bar, so we have the awesome screen. And, what this is really about is providing the same thing on, as on the desktop. The funny thing we found, though, is I think it's actually more useful and more important on mobile. So all these phones, whether you've got a hardware keyboard or a software keyboard, typing's a pain. It's slow, it's really, really bad. And so having this here means you can type a few keystrokes and all of a sudden your favorite sites are there. And when you compare that up with other things like Firefox Sync, which is now built into the browser, you've got all the same content coming from your desktop. So what I will do here is pull up a couple of pages and show you guys how this works. So if we go through here, and let's say we load a couple of keyboard issues here, but let's go to, not that I speak Spanish, but we'll load this for a second. And if we go to the bottom, and so, the main thing, here is really just, you can browse the real web. We can zoom in. We can do multi-touch. And we can do a lot of other things similar on desktop, right? So on the desktop, you've got your site identity button, Larry as it's called. And here we've got a very similar thing. So we can tell you about the site. We can also do some actions on the site. So this site here has a search engine on it. And so if I want to add that, I can just click the button here, and now I've got it added to my searches. I can also do things like save as PDF. And so what this allows is for you to take these things offline. So if you're on a plane, you needed to save your boarding pass, or you need to save your hotel itinerary, you can save that right from the web page and pull it up later. So back on the awesome screen here for a second, one of the things you can do is, again, we have the searches here. So you can just scroll across and pull up whatever search you want right away. That was a neat effect. So you can, really just go wherever you want. One of the other things really powerful here as well is having add-ons. So the first browser on mobile to really support add-ons, and they're all built in the same way as you would build a desktop add-on. As you probably noticed, the UI for this is a little different than desktop Firefox. So there are some, concessions to be made, and our screen size is limited, but the core technology is building things with JavaScript. Everything's still there. So we've seen a lot of people porting their add-ons. Things like AdBlock Plus are here, and so we've seen all these things. We've seen people building up new ideas, and even we've used that to help you come up with new ideas and to help innovate. So we're really excited about that. So if I go back here, what I will show you is a couple just things just to sort of show the fact that you can really do real things on a phone. So here's just a couple demos, just some HTML5 things I want to show. So here's just a pretty straightforward Canvas demo. But just showing, we can render real things here. And here's another thing that that Paul Roger put together, where you can do simple little filters, where you can replace backgrounds. So some pretty cool stuff. And then to take it even further, this one's I love. So what they've done here is, if I click here, this is actually going to go do facial recognition on a worker, so everything's still responsive while I'm going. And here in a second, we'll actually see this. And so this is all in JavaScript. I don't know how Paul manages to pull these things off, but here we go, right? So facial recognition all in JavaScript. So I want to show one other thing here real quick. I'm going to switch phones to this one. System update.